Hello and welcome to The Joy of Yoga. I'm Joy Scola. Today I'm going to be showing you part one of a two-part full body yoga workout. This is great for beginners and intermediates alike. And we've actually shown some ways to incorporate some resistance bands if you're wanting to take your practice to the next level. If not, you're more than welcome to follow along equipment free. And thank you to Fit For You for sending us these resistance bands. But again, you can do this workout entirely equipment free. To begin, go ahead and lie down on your backs on the mat, and we're going to just step our feet out a little bit and let the knees fall out to the side. You can always stick some yoga blocks here or kind of prop up your knees if you need some support. We're really just allowing the hips to open up. Breathing, releasing any tension. I like to place my hands just on the top inner parts of the thighs to help add a little bit of pressure. Now we're going to start with some adductor and abductor presses by planting the soles of the feet back onto the mat, bringing the knees together. Again, making sure that the low back is pressing into the mat. Inhale, pressing open the legs. Exhale, squeezing them back in. Creating your own resistance by moving with your breath, contracting all the muscles. And then to up this workout, we can take one of our resistance bands if you have any, slip them on to just below the kneecap, planting the feet back down to the floor, and then same thing. So now we're pressing out against the band and then resisting the band wanting to snap the legs back together. And if at any point you need to readjust, go ahead, take a breath. And one more time, coming in and out. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and slip the band off from around the knees. Go ahead and let the left foot come out straight, keeping the right knee bent. Again, if you want to keep on using your bands, you can go ahead and loop the band around the arch of the foot and just hold on to the other end. Or if you don't have any band, you can just go ahead and try and hook a toe or the back of the knee or thigh. But if we have a band around or even a towel or a strap, you can most certainly just kind of loop your foot, making sure that we're pressing up through the heels, flexing the toes towards the face, keeping a slight micro bend in the knee here. Breathing, keeping the belly nice and activated. If you're only here, that's okay. Or even if you're here, that's fine, but just make sure that you're really pushing for that straight leg. And breathing. Then you can take your right arm out to your side, keeping the right and left shoulder planted. I'm going to slowly lower my right leg down, taking my time here. Ooh, starting to feel it in the IT band just along the side of the hip here. Ooh, going nice and slow. Breathing. Breathing. And only going as far as you can without having to take this right shoulder off of the mat. We want to keep everything planted, pressing down through the hips. We are stretching and strengthening our muscles by pushing out into the resistance band and then also fighting that resistance of it being pulled back in. So we're working and lengthening these muscles. Breathing. And on your next inhale, slowly bringing that leg up to center. Lightly bend the knee to release your hand or band. Placing that right leg along the mat now feels actually a little bit longer than my left one does. Do you guys notice a difference at all? All right, and then next leg, again, if you don't have a band and you're just hanging out right here, that's great. You can hold on to the knee all the way through, ankle, whatever you can reach for. Grab a towel, grab a resistance band, hook right around the arch of the foot, pressing up into the heel as you pull back on that resistance band or towel, and breathing up through the heel, heels to the sky. I'm not letting my leg fall out. It's not turned out. I'm pulling it in, up, and center. Now, again, if you need to bend that knee because you can't push all the way to straight, try and keep your ankles stacked over the hip and always just be pushing to straighten that leg out. Again, always keeping that micro bend. We want blood flow to be able to move freely to all of our extremities. And then when you're ready, taking out that left arm, keeping that left shoulder firmly planted, going nice and slow, keeping the left hip planted for as long as you can until it starts to slowly drop over. Ooh, it's an intense stretch here. I know, I feel it too. Just go nice and slow, taking in every inch of this stretch and only going as far as you can without picking up that shoulder. Again, we want to make sure we're pressing down into that hip, really elongating the side. That puts an even further stretch into this pose here. Oh, this is not an easy one if we're at a desk all day or if there's just not much mobility in our day-to-day lives. This is always a great one to do before bed. And on the next inhale, go and rise back up to center, nice and slow, bending that knee to release the hand or resistance band. Whew, now it feels like my legs match. You can wiggle that out if you wish. Okay, next we're going to turn over onto our left side. You can place your left arm above the head and roll over. All right, go ahead and meet the right foot to your left, flexing both feet. We're going to turn our right foot facing up towards the ceiling, keeping everything nice and flexed and engaged here. I have my right arm down on the ground for a little support, and then I'm going to inhale, lift up, exhale, bring down with control. Now keep moving with that, but again, if you have your resistance band, go ahead and slip your feet through just to the ankles, turning that foot up, flexing. Inhale, exhale to bring back down. Now you should really be feeling this kind of on the right buttocks. And then the quad. And I even feel it a bit on the inner hamstrings here. And exhale. Go ahead and let that rest for a moment. We'll just go ahead and do that one more time. And then when you're ready, turning that foot back up, flexing, pushing that heel through. Inhale to lift the leg. Exhale, bringing back down with resistance. You can do it. I like to go nice and slow in these types of poses because I feel that it gets more of a targeted muscle burn, whereas if you just go hee hoo hee hoo, it's just a little bit more messy, and I don't feel like you gain that control. Feeling the movement all the way through. One more up. Exhale back down. Go ahead and shake that out a little bit if you need to. And then again, keeping the foot placement here with the bands around the ankles, or if you don't have any bands at all, that's okay. Just create your own resistance by really flexing all the muscles. We're going to raise that right foot to about hip height, and then we're going to bring it back behind us and forward. Inhale. Reaching it back behind us, activating that booty. Exhaling forward. I know my legs are burning. My booty's burning. Really using your core here when you're pulling back, keeping everything nice and strong, lifted. I'm not sinking in my shoulders, hanging out, watching Game of Thrones. Keeping the neck nice and long. Go ahead and take a rest here. You can kind of massage out that area. Ooh, it's tender. And then setting back up for one more set. Lifting that right foot to about hip distance again. And I'm pushing my pelvis through. And inhale. Reaching back behind. Exhale, bringing forward. There you go. Keep moving with the breath. Keep feeding all of your muscles oxygen. If you don't, they'll poop out on you. Keep going, keep going. And one last time, inhaling back. And exhale. Ooh, slowly lower back down. Shake it out. Flip it around. Massage it out if you need to. All right, now we're going to come back to our backs. Back to life. Back to reality. And now we're actually going to do some sort of kicks here. So if you don't have your bands, that's okay. Again, just keep following along. If you do have your band, go ahead and loop so that you have the band around the top part of your right foot and then around the arch of your left foot. Kind of in a runner stance here. Really activating the core, pressing the low back into the ground. I'm going to keep my right knee at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to hold it there as I press my left foot out and down, squeezing everything nice and tight, really pressing with the heel and coming back. Pressing out and down. Again, if you don't have a band, that's okay. Just really create your resistance with your muscle contraction. Going as low as you can without sacrificing your spine. creating that resistance with the right leg. And last time. Really reaching out, resisting with the right leg. And back to the center. Now we're going to switch sides. All you have to do is a little turn of the feet here. So now that the band is on the top part of your left foot and just under the arch of your right foot, bringing that left knee to 90 degrees. Really holding it there, squeezing and activating all those muscles, so that way when you go to push away with the right foot, you're having to really work to keep this at its 90 degree. As you notice, it's not so much a workout in the right leg that's moving. I'm creating resistance for the opposite leg that is having to stay still. Getting a workout by holding it. Holding this static pose as something is trying to move it out of its position. And always breathing. And just a few more. Moving with the breath. And coming back to center. Ooh, you can give your knees a little tug here. Now we're going to flip on over to our right side. Okay, coming onto my right side now, I have my elbow just below my shoulder. My hips are stacked, pushing that pelvis through and flexing my feet, taking that left one up towards the sky. And I inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Always moving with the breath. See how my toes are even activated here. Really driving through and up with the pelvis. Keeping a nice strong core. One more time. I always like to do one more than my body really wants to. Because I'm the boss. Then take a second here. You can massage that out if you need to. Coming back into position. Nice deep breath. And on your next inhale, rotating those toes up. And bringing it back down. Again, I like to move nice and slow. I'm not a rep person. I'm more of a form sort of girl. I like to make sure that everything's nice in alignment. Feeling it burn. Can't keep going. Must keep going. One more. Exhale, slowly lower that down. Do not drop it. That burns. Good job. All right. Shake out the elbow a little bit. Now we're going to get ready for those backward leg presses. So now I'm going to lift that foot to hip height, and then I'm going to inhale, really press behind me. Again, I'm not reaching forward. I'm staying nice and tall. Exhaling back to my midline. I know it's work just keeping it up, especially if you have that resistance band on. Even if you don't though, I know I'd still be burning. Ooh. Breathing, keeping everything nice and strong. Think of how good you're gonna look when you're done with this. And exhale, slowly lower down. Ooh. Wiggle them out if you need to. And we're gonna take that one more time. Wiggle out this elbow. You can always come all the way down to your side if that makes you feel better. But if you're on your elbow, again, make sure you're staying nice and tall. And inhale to lift that leg hip height. And inhale, pressing back. Again, as I push away, I'm still really driving with that heel. So it's still a nice booty activation heel. I'll be back. And exhale, bring it back and slowly lower down. Woo! Wiggle that out. Slide those feet out from the resistance band if you have one. And massage this out. All right, good job. That got my biscuits a burning. So I'm going to turn over into my pigeon, bringing my right heel up into the groin, knee forward, and I want to make sure that my leg is trailing directly behind me. We're not being turned in or out or anything like that. And I really want to try and pull my hips so that way they're facing forward, pulling that left hip forward, right hip back, nice and square, and trying to sink down into this. You can always scoot your knee back out of the way, or you can fold your mat to put under your knee for some cushion. I'm just breathing here, really letting the hips and the groin and the hamstrings stretch out. You can walk those hands forward. Breathing. I like to kind of roll around. Again, always take your time, go slow, especially if you're new to exploring your body. All right, and then flipping around to the other side, I'm going to pick this knee up and over. Rotating through. Now bringing my left heel to my left groin, taking that right knee back. Ooh, this one's a little bit tighter. Sinking down into this, really taking your time with the hips and the hamstrings. They can be sensitive. If you have blocks that you can help stay a little bit higher up on, that's great. Taking your time with everything, feeling it out, breathing. Slowly walking myself down. As you can see, I'm kind of rolling out the leg here as I'm moving. I'll come to settle. You can always stay sitting up in this pose if you need to, or even if just bending both knees and kind of twisting into that, if that's enough of a stretch, great. Whatever works for you. Great job, guys. I know that my legs were burning, so I hope yours were as well. Please feel free to come back to this anytime, and again, use with or without the equipment. But thanks so much to Fit For You for sending us those awesome bands. You can find a link to the site to purchase your own when you want to follow along in our description below. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Please feel free to leave a comment as to if this helped you or not. I'm always looking for ways to grow as a presenter and give our fans what they're really needing. I do hope that you join me for part 2 of this video, where we find ways to work out those arm muscles with the resistance bands. Thank you.